There are so many things your closet does not need. But how do you know if you have too much in there to begin with? Well, if you can't find things, if getting dressed takes a long time, if you forget what you actually own, if you have lots of clothes that don't fit but you still keep in your closet, if items still have tags on them, if drawers don't close at all, if you have piles of clothes all over the place, these are just a few of the signs that you have too much in your closet. So today let's talk about several things your closet doesn't need. Multiple purses. I store my purses in my closet, so I'm going to count this one. I realized many years ago that I really like to just use the same purse or bag over and over again. I don't like to hassle switching my purses over. So I try and just stick with things that are a little bit more neutral, and I just wear the same purse. So go ahead and notice what purse it is that you use the most, and then maybe start reducing from there. Your closet does not need uncomfortable clothing. This is a sign that this item needs to leave your closet. Only have in there the things that you feel comfortable and confident in. So if there's something that you noticed every time you wear it, or you pass over it because it's uncomfortable, that's just a sign that you need to get rid of it altogether. Uncomfortable shoes. I've noticed that I only have a few pairs of shoes to begin with. I don't buy shoes or keep shoes that are uncomfortable. So if you've noticed that you put on a pair and they just don't feel great, put them in the donate pile. You actually won't miss them at all. Duplicate items. I was checking out at Ross the other day, and the girl ahead of me was with her friend, and she was talking about how she was buying her third black cardigan. And she said, I know I have two others, but I just don't know where they are. And I thought, oh no, that is a bummer. Here she is spending more money, wasting time shopping for something that she already has. So when your closet is streamlined, when it's decluttered, you don't have to worry that you're buying duplicates just because you know where everything is. When you have less in your closet also, you kind of know the inventory, and it makes it really, really easy to shop because you know, oh, I already have a really similar green shirt. I don't need to go buy another one. Clothes that are beyond repair. I think clothes, they actually can be repaired a lot of the time, especially with the little pill shaver. Here, I've got one right here. This just shaves the little pills right off. So especially with your knitwear, things that kind of do tend to pill up, you can save the items, revive them by using a little pill shaver. If they're beyond repair, if they're faded, worn beyond all reason, holes in the pits, and you just can't fix it, then go ahead and recycle the materials. But try the Conair little pill shaver first. Clothes with tags. This is a tricky one. I feel like oftentimes if it still has the tags on it after a month, we probably won't wear the item. If you've actually bought an item and it's just sitting in your closet after a month, the chances are really good that you're actually not going to wear the item at all, which is, it's so hard to come to terms with this. Like, I wasted money. I'm not going to wear this. So go ahead and donate it, or try and sell it back on Facebook Marketplace, or try and return it. I've mentioned this before, but I love this next one. It is decluttering your fantasy self items. This really applies to anything and everything in your home, but I really like it the way it applies to your closet. If there are certain items of clothing that represent kind of the person that you wish you were, or the phase of life that you're kind of dreaming of. Let's say you have tons and tons of workout clothes in there, but you just don't make it to the gym. You find that you end up working out at home in your PJs. Then you can go ahead and declutter these fantasy self items. Chances are they're just making you feel bad about yourself anyway. High heels, but you're a mom running after little kids. It doesn't make sense to hang on to these items that you're not wearing. And again, it kind of makes you feel bad, and you're missing out on the phase of life that you're in right now. Do any of you still have your wedding dress? This can be a really tricky one, and I had to really think about this for a minute. Is it a good idea to declutter, get rid of your wedding dress? And I think the whole idea around keeping it is that you hope your daughter might wear it one day. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I like the pressure that puts on the next generation. I want my daughter to wear whatever it is that she's comfortable in, and who knows if she'll even be the size that I was. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Another thing you can do with your wedding dress is recycle the materials and make something else, like a blessing dress for your baby as an example. But what are your thoughts on keeping your wedding dress? Do you still have yours? Let me know what you think. Guilt apparel can be tricky. It can be very, very tough. And it kind of goes along with what I was talking about, your fantasy self. I think oftentimes we can feel kind of guilty that we're not living a certain life or living a certain way. And so our clothing or these items in our closet can end up making us feel kind of bad. If you're hanging on to articles of clothing in your closet because you spent a lot of money on them, or because they were a gift, or maybe they were something that you bought on impulse. These are all things that relate to guilt. It's okay to give yourself permission to let these things go. And then the items that you bought on impulse, take the lesson and move on. The lesson that I learned about impulse buys or impulse purchases is that they're really just future clutter items. Unless I've really thought something through, I do tend to regret purchasing items, and I just think this is a future return, or this is a future piece of clutter that I'm gonna have to manage and deal with. And once you start decluttering your house, you start realizing that impulse buys are not your friend. Clothing that is out of style. Now, we all know that clothing comes back around. And so there's maybe this temptation to think, oh my gosh, this is gonna be such a gem. It's gonna be this vintage piece, either worth a lot of money or the next generation is really going to love it. There's always going to be a reason to hang on to something. You can justify keeping absolutely anything at all. And what I've learned is that the more you declutter, the better off your life is today. Hangers that hurt your clothes. I know those wire hangers aren't really around anymore. I adore these little velvet hangers. I get them on Amazon, but these are nice and rounded. I can put absolutely anything on here and it won't like hurt the shoulder. And then it also is nice and grippy. Invest in quality hangers. It will save your clothing. When in doubt, get rid of the clothing that you haven't worn to 6 to 12 months or you haven't worn in a full season. If winter's come and gone and I did not wear that sweater, I know that I can get rid of it pretty confidently. So that is kind of the rule of thumb when it comes to your closet, shoes, jewelry, purses, whatever else it is that you keep in there. If you have not worn it in the last 6 to 12 months or the last season, I think it's really safe to let it go, no matter what the reason was. If you didn't wear it because you didn't fit in it, that's fine, get rid of it. Well, hopefully today's video was helpful. Let me know if you have whittled down your wardrobe as well. I also have another video here on the screen. I will meet you over there. Bye.